Hi there, this is Praying Medic with your news update for Saturday, December 23rd. The president is trolling FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. Why is the president trolling Andrew McCabe right after he announces that he's going to retire? Why would Trump be trolling Andrew McCabe? He must know something. I'm going to tell you what he knows here in just a minute. Oh my gosh. This is going to be interesting. Yes, why does Trump troll his enemies? Because he can. Because nobody trolls people like the president. I don't know if he's going to make it 90 days either. That was the point of the president's tweet. That was the point of his tweet. So the president gets on Twitter today after Washington Post announces through unnamed sources that Andrew McCabe is going to retire sometime around March after he's eligible for a full pension. Washington Post publishes the article, I think, early this afternoon. And the president tweets out, FBI Director Andrew McCabe is racing the clock to retire with full benefits. 90 days to go, question mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And so the president is insinuating something here. Hey, you have to race against the clock. You got to make it 90 days and not get indicted and not get charged in order to make it to your pension. And so Trump is having a little bit of fun with him here. But there's something serious going on behind it. Now, after the president tweeted out about Andrew McCabe, Adam Schiff gets on Twitter, retweets the president and says, the FBI would set a dangerous precedent if it would be unprecedented, or as Trump would say, unprecedented, if the FBI forced out dedicated career public servants in capitulation to Trump and White House pressure. President has already removed one top FBI leader, Comey, over Russia. McCabe would be another. So Adam Schiff is getting all angry and upset about the possibility that Trump may try to force out Andrew McCabe. He knows. See, Schiff knows. Trump has got something that he's a racket that he's got going on, and he's worried about it. So Schiff, boom, got to start firing off. Okay. Sundance, Last Refuge on Conservative Treehouse, explains it. Sundance has been following all of this drama in the FBI and the DOJ and Congress, and Sundance puts all the pieces together and has a very good explanation of what may likely be happening. So I'm going to go through Sundance's history. So WAPO puts out their article, President Trump tweets, and now we're going to look at what Congress is doing. When Rod Rosenstein was testifying before the House Judiciary Committee, the Office of Inspector General had committed to release 1.2 million pages of documents on January 15th, 2018 to the Judiciary Committee. Now, a lot of you know that the Office of Inspector General has been investigating the Department of Justice and the FBI over politicization, or what I would say weaponization, of those departments during the election and the Hillary email investigation. So they have compiled 1.2 million pages of documents, which was referenced in QAnon's post, honey, a week ago, I think, sometime in the past. QAnon referenced 1.2 million. And some people thought, oh, that's 1.2 million people that the board has reached. No, I believe it was the 1.2 million documents that the Office of Inspector General has on this investigation. Now, if you've been following my recent scopes, you know that the Office of Inspector General is due to release their final report sometime around March or April. But the 1.2 million pages they've compiled in their investigation are going to be released to the House Judiciary Committee in a couple of weeks on January 15th. Did you know that? It's important. This is why it's important. So, under testimony, Rosenstein affirmed that the investigative documents would be released to Chairman Goodlatte and House investigators. And this is the backdrop we have to look at considering McCabe's decision to retire. The Inspector General may or may not be complete with his investigative report on January 15th. However, House Oversight, Trey Gowdy, and Judiciary, Goodlatte, committees are both launching investigations, and they're not waiting for the Inspector General to conclude his final report. The Office of Inspector General, Horowitz, and Congress, Oversight and Judiciary, cannot independently file criminal indictments based on their investigative outcomes. That decision is up to the Department of Justice. The reason Goodlatte has requested the 1.2 million pages of investigative documents is because a special prosecutor bring criminal indictments. Here's where we see the clarity of Horowitz and Goodlatte working together. Now, I'm going to play for you an audio from, this is when Rosenstein testified in front of the House Judiciary Committee.
The Inspector General, his investigation is very important. We support that. It is very encouraging to us that he is doing what I think is good, unbiased work, and we want that to continue. But our investigation does not need to. You may wait for them to draw conclusions, but our investigation does not need to wait on the Inspector General. So again, I thank you for the documents that were provided to us yesterday. There are, as you know, many more, I think 1.2 million documents that the Inspector General has, and we have a commitment from the Assistant Attorney General, Mr. Boyd, to provide those by January 15. We have asked, we've sent a letter asking for certain information and commitments regarded to that January 15 production date, but that is very important for us, and we do not intend to wait on the Inspector General's report, whenever that may be, maybe before then, maybe after then, to pursue the investigation that this committee is pursuing. So as long as we have that understanding and that you live by the commitment that has already been made to be fulsome in your production of documents, I have no problem what you provide to the Intelligence Committee, but don't look at it this as something that's just provided them. It should be provided to this committee. If it needs to be handled in camera, if it needs to be handled in a classified manner, we have the facilities, and we are certainly prepared to make the necessary commitments to do that.
Mr. Chairman, I appreciate, if I may further explain, I have instructed our staff to make sure they do make this information available to you as well. And my understanding is that they're seeking to make arrangements with your staff to do so this month.
Thank you very much.
So that was Chairman Goodlatte. He's chair of the House Judiciary Committee. And he said, we are going to launch our investigation, and we're not waiting for the Office of Inspector General to finalize their investigation. They want the 1.2 million pages that comes from the Inspector General's investigation. They're going to use it for their own investigation. And they're going to get those documents in a few weeks. Now, Chairman, I'm going to just continue reading from Sundance's post here. Chairman Goodlatte is positioning the Judiciary Committee to collect the evidence from the Inspector General in order to launch a special prosecutor investigation based on the documents of the OIG report. This creates two options for Jeff Sessions in the Department of Justice. Number one, the special prosecutor goes forward toward indictments based on the Office of Inspector General findings and their year-long investigation. Option two, a new Department of Justice investigation assigned toward criminal indictments, again, using the OIG findings from Horowitz and his investigation. Both options become fully available after the Inspector General releases his report, which may be March or April. However, prior to Horowitz releasing his report, the first option of prosecution is available based on the interim findings found in the 1.2 million pages that are going to be released on January 15th. Both routes, a special prosecutor investigation assigned by Congress or a criminal probe by Sessions, end in the same place where indictments are likely. Now remember, Congress can appoint a special prosecutor as well as the Department of Justice. The difference between these two routes is time. However, neither investigation will require too much time or investigation because Horowitz has been investigating for a year and they have 1.2 million pages of documents. Either the Congressional Special Prosecutor route or the DOJ prosecutor route will only require the prosecutor to conduct interviews to enhance the already massive amount of information that Horowitz has already provided. The bottom line is the jig is up. The ruse is exposed. The plot is evident. President Trump's tweets today highlight the shift. The shift is what's causing the anxiety among the co-conspirators. Comey, Schiff, Brennan, and all these people who are taking to Twitter, Sally Yates, Susan Rice, they've all been jumping on Twitter this week, coming to attack the president and try to defend the Obama administration because they see that this is going in a direction that they don't want. So it looks to me like the Judiciary Committee is probably moving toward indictment before McCabe is able to retire. I think that's the summary of where Sundance is going with this. Whether the DOJ does or not, that's another issue, but it looks like Goodlatte and the Judiciary Committee are moving in that direction. The storm is upon us, indeed. Godspeed, Patriots. I'll catch you on the next scope.